Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to One Piece, episode 972. Single episode, because we're caught up. It's still weird to think about that, because again, it's been so long. As I said last time, it's been years since the start of Dressrosa. Like, God, when would that have been? 2016, maybe? Maybe. I don't even know. Because that was the last time I was caught up, basically right when Dressrosa was starting. And then I ended up getting behind again. It's just, I don't know why. It just happened. But we're finally caught up again. And we're watching it as it comes. And we're kind of closing out these flashbacks. So we've been having these flashbacks of Kozuki Oden and his adventures with Whitebeard and Roger. And just how it's kind of all coming to an end as he returns to Wano to find that Kurozumi Orochi has taken charge, has taken control as the new shogun. Although technically it was supposed to be a temporary placement, he is completely just taken over. And during that time, Oden's family was in danger. They didn't get hurt, they were protected, but they were in danger. And so he confronted Orochi and ended up making a deal with him and Kaido. Basically having to act like a fool. There was also something about a boat in there, but he had to act like a fool for a few years and basically turn the country against him and his family. Which sucks, but he was doing it to protect his family and others. So, good reason, at least, and we continue to see how good of a person Oden was. But yeah, we're definitely leading into the public execution of Oden, which, considering what we've had with this arc, I think Oda's going to show it. I think we're going to actively see that happen. And it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard because I've come to like Oden. At first, I was kind of on the fence with him, but I've definitely come to like and appreciate his character a lot more, especially with seeing his journeys with Whitebeard and Roger. So we'll see how this all comes to a close. I don't know if it's going to happen entirely in this episode, or if there's going to be another episode or two or whatever. But it's definitely coming to an end because the journeys with Whitebeard and Roger are over. Roger has already disbanded his crew and has been executed and everything, so there's not much more, honestly. We also got to see what the old man can do. I don't remember his name right now. They did mention it, though. The old man, because Orochi had been working with the old man and woman. The old man has the barrier fruit, the same devil fruit that in the current day is held by Barto of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. And it's already been mentioned, of course, that Bon Clay currently has the clone fruit, which back then was held by Kurozumi Higurashi. I remember her name just because Higurashi is connecting it to the other series and all. But yeah, it's really interesting seeing that these two characters who helped shape the current situation in Wano and everything had these devil fruits that we recognize, that we know, for characters who are good guys, for characters who we like. Like, everyone likes Bon Clay, or Mr. Two, or Bentham, whatever you want to call him. Everyone likes him. He is a huge fan favorite. And Bardo honestly is pretty well liked too, from what I've seen. Not people don't talk about him as much as other characters, but people do seem to like him when they do. So, yeah, we have two fan favorite characters, two well liked characters, and it's really interesting to see that their devil fruits used to belong to two pieces of shit who helped ruin Wano. So we'll see where this episode goes, and I'm really excited. It's sad that we're only doing one episode. I'm not used to that for one. Um, but this is going to be good for a lot of reasons, and one of the big one being, of course, that it means that any cliffhangers and whatnot are definitely going to have a lot better of an effect now. Now that I'm not like just blasting through 4 episodes a week, or even more on those One Piece weeks I did. So yeah, we're gonna get to this and hope for the best. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. God, it's so fucking disturbing. Like, there have been parts in this series that, yeah, have really bothered me. Like, heavily bothered me. Such as the slave trade in Shabandi Archipelago. And it's just... This is just horrific to me. The idea of being boiled alive as a form of execution has always been just a horrific idea to me. Because I've been burned by boiling water and boiling oil. I've just gotten like splash burns from those, and that it hurts like hell. Just from that, just from a little splash. It's like just the mere concept of being boiled alive in oil like that is so horrifically painful to think about. It's exceedingly disturbing. It's honestly, I'd say it's probably one of the worst ways to go. And God, seeing that executioner slip and fall in and get boiled alive, and just his melting body just as he pulls himself out and flops down onto the ground with that splat. It's like, oh my fucking God, that is uncomfortable, to put it lightly. And when I thought, like, when my mind instantly just started to think about that line, Odin isn't Odin unless it's boiled, I completely, like, just, it made me want to throw up that I thought of that. That in that moment, Odin about to be boiled alive as execution, that's where my mind went. But God, it was excellent foreshadowing. It's horrifying, but it was so excellent of foreshadowing on Oda's part. And I hate it. I hate it so much. But it's true. Think about it. Odin's legacy that is continuing 20 years after his death. Current day, with Luffy and them joining the Akazaya 9 to get Momo back into power, to defeat Kaido, to defeat Orochi. All of this is because of the legacy of Odin, which would not exist, which would not be a thing if he was not boiled alive, if he was not executed. The line is literally true in this case. Odin wouldn't be the legendary figure he is At least not to the same degree, not to in the same way. If his execution had happened, if he wasn't boiled. And it is the most horrifically perfect connection to draw with that. And again, it makes me both hate and love Oda at the same time. But in this, we got to see more. We got to see when Odin's swords cut Kaido, as we had heard about. We got to see the fight in general. We got to see a young Shinobu fighting alongside them. And we got to see when Odin completely disavowed her in order to save her life. And again, I still assume she's going to be the one to save the Oxanon because we know what happens with them. We know that they're there when Toki sends them into the future. So, well, except for Kawamatsu, who stays behind in order to protect Hiyori. I don't know why my mind blanked on that. And I guess, except maybe Denjiro as well, because he's, again, not there currently, so we don't know where he is at the moment. But I don't know if, like, we're even going to see one of the traitor, anything happen with the traitor here. Because, again, we know one of them is a traitor. We don't know for sure which one, but we know one of them for sure is a traitor. And I talked about my suspicions as to who it could be last time. It's going to be, I guess, interesting to see where that goes and all. And if the traitor is up there for execution too, was Orochi and Kaido planning to get rid of them just to, like, tie up loose ends? And if so, if that was the case, why would the traitor still be working with Orochi and Kaido in the current day? There's a lot of questions with that. I guess it depends on who the traitor is, maybe? I guess we'll have to see. But these flashbacks are definitely coming to an end. Honestly, right now, I'm thinking next episode is going to be the last one for these flashbacks. It just seems like that's where it's going. And then we'll get back into the current day story. I don't know where this is going at this point. Because Odin now, like, both in terms of the past and the present, because Odin has now laid down this challenge in the past where it's like, oh, we'll get in the oil, but if any of us survive for whatever length of time you give us, then you have to set us free. And it's like, what? We just saw what happened to that executioner. And yeah, it was just some lowly executioner who didn't have the mental fortitude or physical fortitude of these trained samurai and all. But still, it's like, that's not going to matter when you're boiling in oil. They're gonna die. And you know that Kaido and Orochi would set some kind of, like, unbelievably stupid time limit. Like, it wouldn't just be like, oh, like 10 minutes or something like that. It'd be something like 10 days. A limit that obviously would never be able to be survived. And I still say Odin probably would have won that battle, considering if he hadn't been distracted by Higurashi pretending to be Momo. I think that's what that was trying to tell us there. That was really, honestly, what won the battle for Kaido. As wild as that sounds. Which is extremely interesting. Just the idea that Kaido was actually, at least at that time, weaker than Odin. That Odin was actually strong enough to defeat him, but he got distracted by his love for his son and that was enough to take him down. It both shows the best of Odin and the worst of Kaido and his crew, and Higurashi, I guess, specifically. Although she's not part of Kaido's crew, she's working with Orochi specifically. But still, the point stands. I just, I don't know where that's going to go. And then in the current day, we have the currently failing attempted invasion part 2, basically, since we knew this had happened before. And it's currently failing because of the traitor and everything. And so it's like, where's this going to end up going? Are they going to somehow be able to push through? Are they going to just be shit out of luck? Because again, if this is going to be a 5-act structure like the Kabuki plays, that it's clearly basing a lot on, there's still a long way to go. And even if it were just a 3-act structure, it's like, I don't see this invasion going off without a hitch. Something's going to happen. I feel like there's a lot more of this arc left than we kind of realize. God, but I'm really excited. This arc has been phenomenal. Like, even with each separate act being so different and all, the arc has been just outright phenomenal. And it's just a matter of where it goes to now. Just a matter of how it ends, how our characters succeed in their goal of bringing the Kozuki bloodline back into power. And how are they going to defeat Kaido? Like, even if he's defeated in battle, like, what are they going to actually do with him? They're not going to call the Navy, are they? Like, I don't see what they're going to do unless they actually kill him. And if they do kill Kaido, 1, how? 2, what is that going to do? Like, in terms of the power structure of the 4 warlords, the Yonko, what's that going to do? Will another one have to be named? And if so, who would it be? Would it be just Luffy? Like, I could imagine that, considering he's already kind of considered an unofficial 5th warlord. But would they go about making him into an actual legitimate 4th warlord if Kaido was killed? Orochi, I kind of expect to die. But Kaido's kind of the wild card in that regard. So I guess we just have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to see what more they do with this. I just do kind of wish I could watch more. It's just being caught up and doing only 1 episode a week. It's like it's tough because I want to get to more. I want to be able to binge 4 episodes a week still. But again, at the same time, it's going to make these cliffhangers and whatnot more impactful. It's going to make them better because I have to wait to find out what happens with them. That's what cliffhangers are supposed to do. I know a lot of people are so just heavily obsessed with the entire binging model that Netflix made popular. But it's like these kind of shows need these cliffhangers to truly succeed and to truly build tension. This kind of stuff is honestly something that we shouldn't be looking down on. Cliffhangers are a necessity, an important necessity for the quality of a series, and especially for its just tone and overall tension. So I'm good with this. It's hard because especially because I'm so used to watching 4 episodes a week, at least. So it's just I gotta have to get used to watching 1 now. But either way, tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode of One Piece. And thank you so much for tuning in. So for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.